Welcome back, my name is Carrie, and today I'm going to show you the next folding prefab home. Just when I thought Boxabl and Rohe Homes were the only folding options, it was recently released that a new manufacturer could be building by the end of this year. This is exciting news because people seem quite fascinated with the idea of a home that ships standard width and unfolds on site. In fact, the company in question has already received 30,000 inquiries from people looking to find out more. I think the interest in this style of home stems from a combination of cool factor, utility, and the fact that it's a fairly new offering which has people fired up to see how it all unfolds. The company I'm talking about is called Tenfold Engineering, with their new expandable structures that'll be available in multiple different sizes. What I'm going to do is tell you about the company, look at what they're up to, and check out their pricing. Tenfold Engineering is a US-based company that is working to build expandable, collapsible steel frame buildings that could be used for offices, retail, and housing. They recently moved into a 50,000 square foot facility in North Springfield, Vermont, so another one to add to the list of East Coast builders. It's been hinted at the manufacturing could start by the end of 2022, and they hope to build 50 units in the first year. That would be amazing. The more new homes being built, the better. When I started looking into Tenfold Engineering, I couldn't figure out why their Facebook page had almost 20,000 people following when they had only made a few posts, but I realized the company originated overseas all the way back in 2013. In 2020, the current president, David Jacks, purchased Tenfold Engineering and all their original plans, which had previously been operated in the United Kingdom. This isn't Jack's first go in off-site construction. He does have experience in the prefab industry. The purchase was made with a parent company called Conrad Prefab, which constructs purpose-built prefab pods. That website is pretty plain, with not much listed other than design, engineering, and manufacturing of purpose-built dynamic architectural environments. Parent company of Tenfold Engineering, with links to all social media accounts for Tenfold Engineering. Might be nice to get a bit more info, but okay, I guess we'll take what we can get here. They're still pretty tight-lipped about exactly what they've got going on, but that usually just means they're busy doing real work. The time since the acquisition has been spent fine-tuning the design, and so far they've been able to cut down the weight by 25,000 pounds. Earlier this year, the company received a $500,000 capital improvement grant from the Vermont Agency of Commerce and Community Development to help modernize Tenfold's manufacturing space, which will hopefully help them to start production this year. I understand these things take time, and on top of that, they're making changes to how the company operates. The move from the UK over to America represents a transition the company is currently making from licensing their designs for custom one-off builds to manufacturing the units themselves. To give you an idea of what they were up to before this, we have to check out what I think is one of their coolest uses of their designs, and that was for the Red Bull AlphaTauri F1 team. Red Bull licensed their technology so they could build a mobile innovation lab that travels from place to place, unfolds on site for however long it's needed, then can fold up and move along to the next location. Even though the result was one of the coolest looking fold-out structures I've ever seen, it probably isn't something a lot of people are looking to buy. The lab took 86 experts 250 days to build, used 13 tons of steel, but resulted in a structure that unfolds in under 20 minutes and looks amazing. It's pretty wild, really. It is. By shifting the business model, they plan to offer something a little more standardized that can be built faster, more efficiently, and at a far lower cost. I don't know how much the Red Bull unit costs to build, but I know for sure it's way outside my price point, so let's check out what they've got going on now. The entire concept for the next phase of Tenfold Engineering is to transform the way the world lives with an expandable steel frame structure that can set itself up on legs in a variety of locations. This is the kind of stuff that still seems so futuristic to me, so it's bizarre to think they're only months away from production. The patented home is designed to leave the factory in a similar form as a shipping container. At its destination, the legs come down automatically and the building rises, enabling the truck to drive out from underneath. There are currently two sizes listed on the website: a 20-foot unit that folds out to 400 square feet and a 40-foot unit that folds out to 800 square feet. Jack says what we have seen in the last 2 years is that there's a significant market for relocatable buildings. With an expandable unit, you have a home that you can relocate within a moment's notice and do it cost effectively. Examples given of who might buy something like this is parents occupying movable homes in the yards of their adult children, or government agencies using them as emergency shelters or offices. One of the many features that makes Tenfold unique is the fact that it will self-deploy right off the truck without the need for any specialty equipment on site. When the unit is at its destination, the sides will deploy, then the legs will lower to the ground to raise the unit off the transport trailer. With the unit raised, the transport trailer is able to drive out from under the structure before it's lowered to the ground and leveled. That means there's no need for a crane or forklift at the job site, which is just one less thing to think about. Tenfold Engineering builds units to be multi-generational investments. The units are constructed to comply with both the IBC and HUD code, making them exceptionally robust. Function and longevity are core principles that our units have been designed around. Here's the thing, people who are never going to buy something like this will be quick to say you can't put them anywhere, while the people who want to live in one are out there finding somewhere to put it. It's a tale as old as time. If you're in the second group, here's a few things you might want to consider. Even though these units are designed to be relocatable, they probably won't move as much as people think. This isn't something you can throw in a utility trailer and tow around with a Tacoma, so I'm guessing most will be somewhat permanent with the option to move around. You won't be able to just dump these things anywhere. A bit of land prep will be needed. Unless you get an off-grid version, they don't have holding tanks for sewer and water, so there will need to be some thought and money put into wherever you want to put it. Before the structure arrives, you need to install water, sewer, and electric. If the unit is going to be semi-permanent, which like I mentioned, I think most will be, they recommend a cement pad. Requirements for permits will depend on where you're located and planning to put it, and they suggest speaking with the local planning or zoning commission directly and say they'll work with your town to make it an easy process. One of the most common questions I get on my channel when talking about anything offsite constructed is how is it going to handle in a hurricane? And it's an important question. The website says units are designed to be untethered when located within wind zone 1. Wind zone 2 and 3 will require an engineered connection to the ground. An example of such connection would be to have sonotubes cast and placed. The legs would then be bolted to the sonotubes. This will secure the unit during a weather event. In anticipation of a severe weather event, it is suggested that the unit is folded up to improve its performance during the weather event. Makes sense. Before I wrap this up, I am going to check out their pricing, but keep in mind prices can and usually do change. However, it will be accurate at the time of posting this video. Right now, the cost is listed between $350 and $400 per square foot, meaning the 400 square foot model will be $140 to $160, and the 800 square foot model will be $280 to $320. Tenfold Engineering is preparing to start manufacturing the next foldable prefab home. This has been a long time coming since the company started in 2013, but sometimes timing is everything, and with the current interest in relocatable folding structures, it seems like as good a time as any. There hasn't been nearly as much info shared by Tenfold on social media as I would like, but sometimes the anticipation is part of the fun, so we'll just have to wait patiently to find out exactly what they're up to when it's announced. Until then, I will definitely have my ear to the ground on what they're up to, and will post any updates right here on my YouTube channel. That's all I've got for today. If you like manufactured home videos, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I've got new ones coming out every single week. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.